Hi, Katerina. It's so good to see you here today. Thanks so much for accepting to have this interview.
Thank you very much for inviting me. My name is Katerina. I used to work in some business, in even in science a little bit, and my it. I don't know where it came from, but suddenly I became an educational activist. Probably it was because my kids turned me into this role. About 8 years ago, we started our own little democratic school in the middle of Ukraine. It's about 200 kilometers from Kiev. It started as a very small project, but immediately grew into something bigger and grew even more when the full-scale invasion started. And we faced the difficulties, the tragedy that we didn't expect, and we had to react somehow. So in the beginning, there was a school for 15 kids, five families. And now we have projects that touches about last year report we made, and we were amazed of the number of 4,000 people who were beneficiaries of our projects.
What's the reason for this growth linked with the conflict?
Um, First of all, I would, it's very important to say that we never call it conflict, because what conflict is something that happens when two sides are in conflict, but we weren't a side of a conflict. We call it aggression or a war because we didn't do anything to make it happen. It wasn't our choice. We just had to stay strong and defend ourselves. So, yes, I think the full scale invasion became what actually happened, that our school were immediately closed because we didn't have a bomb shelter and we weren't able to, and some families went aboard, and our family actually went aboard in the very first day. In a couple of weeks, we came back home and we found, well, our house and schoolhouse worked as a refugee shelters, because you can't even imagine a huge amount of people. All the roads were full of cars. It takes 2.5, well, 3 hours to get from Kiev to Vinnytsia, but that days it took people 20, 30 hours. So it was, people were walking and knocking into doors of unknown houses and asked for a place to sleep, with kids, with uh, pads, with everything they had with them. And our school stopped being a school and turned into a shelter. And at some point, we found out that we have to meet each other regularly, because otherwise we are diving into very deep and very hard emotional state, all of us. And we started to meet only once a week on Fridays. And those Fridays, we were singing songs, cooking something together, doing something absolutely regular things, not collecting medicine and running with the medicine through some borders as, I don't know, some criminals, not collecting the money and sending the cars to the front line. We've done something simple and um, very clear, very something that we used to do before the full scale invasion. And we found out that this one day on Friday makes us so happy that it gives us fuel to go forward all the rest of the week. So we actually asked for help, and we built a bunker near our school, real uh, bunker, in the ground. So then we were able to restart the school, and we thought, well, maybe it's time for us to not only provide all this happiness and freedom only in our school community. Let's go wider. And we ran all over the city, and in a week we had like 12 locations, 12 sites, different community centers, even churches, sports centers that said, okay, we are opening our doors for you. Use our location for free, make your workshops, do whatever you want to make people happier. We feel like we have to provide happiness. people need it here much more than they usually do. They need it a lot. So we do festivals, events, playback theater, we make clubs, all the possible arts. We do everything to make people happy. And our philosophy now is to place this happiness as something necessary. Like you don't have necessary things to do and then happiness and then fun. No, fun is necessary to have energy to do everything else. So fun has to be your priority. It's strange, but it's what we believe in now. In 2017, me, my friend Dasha, who actually we found the school together and did most of our educational project together. So me, my friend Dasha, went to Hadera, IDIC in Hadera, and our kids came with us. And they were 6 years old that time. And they said, we won't live like this. We want to have the democratic education, but the Stork school that they grew up in, they weren't able to provide it because they are official school in Ukraine and Ministry of Education gives them strict rules how they have to deal with schedules, with lessons, with very small breaks between lessons and everything. And they are not able to provide democratic education. And then we started our school uh, as a first probably democratic school in Vinnytsia, very small one. And in 2019, 2 years after Hadera IDIC, Vinnytsia actually, Ukraine hosted IDIC UDIC. And we were involved as one of the main organizers, I guess. And it was a very long project, about a year. We worked hard, I would say, and it went amazing.
You know, now we are co-organizers for the UDEC
Yeah,
IDEC
I know.
this summer. Yes. Um,
I know what you're going through.
yeah.
So I met amazing people and I loved all the process a lot. So afterwards, I was invited to some IDEX as a participant, as a speaker. So I attended Summer Hill Festival that was joint event with IDEC and I went to Taiwan as a keynote speaker last year, IDIC, and it was a huge pleasure. And I thank this organizational team a lot. So we actually talked about peace and war also. And I think it's some context that we can't avoid talking about it.
Of course.
And we can't avoid, it's painful, but it's necessary to speak about it.
How important for you is the democratic education approach now in this time? Like, does it still have like such a priority, or has the importance kind of shifted because now there's, a different temporality of thinking short term or not knowing, what you're going to do tomorrow or what the plans are or having to focus sometimes on basic needs or like has this focus changed among your family or the families that you are in contact with in context of the education of the children?
I would say that focus switched, but it switched directly to democratic education. I think uh, I consider it now as the most important, probably, thing we did uh, for our kids. Also, democracy itself is now under huge pressure. So we should probably take care of every single piece of democracy we can find and we can make stronger. So I think our school is it's not a big piece of democracy, but a very pure one. So um, if we can show other people how it works during our festivals, it's the best job we can do.
Does it increase the resilience that the children have with regard to well-being and how and to their feeling of powerlessness within the current context?
I think they are doing amazing because they they were able to keep their childhood happy under all these circumstances. So, and they succeed. And also they join us some of the times in different projects, and they didn't ask us why should we prepare beds for some people we don't know, and they can knock at our door and just, and you cook for them. Why does it happening? They are helping us. They did help us a lot with accommodation, cooking, and everything, and collecting medicine, logistics, everything. They worked with us as a team, and they never said, "Oh, I'm tired with all this war." So, and but still, they managed to stay happy and save their childhood from this cruel world. We actually helped them, but they should take most of the credits. They did amazing job. I think so. So I would say democratic education is an amazing choice for future of this world, because I've already told everywhere I could that I've seen very well educated people doing terrible things. I mean, academically educated, like amazing journalists who are telling lies in propaganda, very well educated engineers creating weapons that flies to Ukrainian houses and kill families. What? So you wasted all your talents to do what? If people would invest in their happiness and their ability of real critical thinking and raise and ability to raise their voices, that would be the best choice for the world.
Apart from networking to make projects together and try to locate funding, but do you notice in the families and in the children any, I know it's a stupid question because of course there's the basic needs would be safety and peace and rest.
Yeah, but I can answer. I know
Yes.
the answer. I can even reformulate the question.
Yes.
So we all the time we look for some funding from very different sources.
We've just resubmitted a project together, so hopefully that will get approved.
Yeah, I don't have an official donation link, but I have my PayPal, and this goes. This is like an, I don't know, unofficial budget. I never can plan what I will I will have.
What will happen?
Uh,
What will arise?
what will
Yeah.
happen and what will be the request, and it's unplannable, absolutely. Like we are here as hands on the ground, and some of the times people send me the money with some notes like, give this money to some elderly family who have lost their house. So, okay, I'm looking for an elderly family who lost their house. Mike Wayman, you probably know, he some of the times sends the money with some special requests like make an ice cream party for kids. So we're making an ice cream party for kids with his donations. And this is my advice to everybody. No, this now it's not a good time to postpone your dreams. If you have dreams and you have it articulated, do it right now, because nobody knows what's going to happen with this world tomorrow. So this is what I want to be concentrate on, fulfilling dreams right now. This sounds like a plan, I hope.
This year, the International Democratic Education Conference and the European Democratic Education Conference, IDEC at UDEC 2025 Belgium, come together as one under the theme A Culture of Dialogue. This unique event creates a space where democratic schools from around the world can unite, rising above geopolitical challenges to foster dialogue, cooperation, and peace. Be part of this global movement for a better future. Join us in Belgium for IDEC at UDEC 2025 from the 1st to the 7th of August.